The Calgary Police Service has charged a man in relation to an incident which an officer was injured. At approximately 11:30 a.m. Thursday, February 9th, 2017, two officers responded to a call of an unwanted guest inside a coffee shop in the Trans-Canada Mall. The unwanted guest had been in the coffee shop for some time, acting erratically and aggressive towards customers. Attempts were made to ask him to leave by the staff, however, he refused to. Upon arrival, officers asked the man numerous times to leave the premise, but he still refused. After unsuccessful attempts to garner the man's identification and for the safety of the public, the man was escorted out by both officers, and he was told he was under arrest for trespassing. Once outside, the man attempted to pull away, causing all three individuals to fall to the ground. The man started fighting with the police, at which point he punched one of the officers in the face while biting their hands, and then punched the second officer in the face. The man then pulled a knife from his pocket, and one of the officers was forced to deploy a taser, ending the incident. One officer was treated on scene for minor injuries, while the other officer was transported to the hospital with a broken nose, broken cheekbone, and lacerations to their hand. The suspect was checked on scene but did not require medical attention. Neville Gorecka, 35, is facing 11 criminal charges, which include, but not limited to, resisting arrest, 3 counts of assaulting police officers, and a possession of a weapon. The diligence of the staff at the coffee shop, as well as the quick response of officers, provided a timely resolution to an incident that could have had a significant risk to the public. Today's policing environment is ever-changing. There are no routine calls. As we saw in this event, each unfolding moment presented challenges, requiring a response that ensures the safety of the public as well as our officers. Questions?
Was Mr. Gorecka, was he known to police before this incident at all?
Yes, he was.
He was. Right? Any indication that he was, intoxicated or otherwise, somewhat impaired when this altercation took place?
It's my understanding at this point that drugs were related.
I see. And about how long? So we had the gentleman in the coffee shop, people asking him to leave. About how long from when he was in the shop or asked to leave were police then called to respond?
It's my understanding he was in the restaurant or the coffee shop for a while, and because of his behavior, staff and patrons were concerned with their own safety, and that's finally when staff decided to call the police.
With the knife in question, it seems like it took a while for this gentleman to actually produce it, almost near the very end of this whole incident. Without giving too much detail or as much detail as you can, what type of blade are we dealing with here? Was this a pocket knife, or did this man have a hunting knife, some sort of larger blade?
It's my understanding it was a pocket knife. He pulled it out of his clothing, opened it up, and it was at that point that, of course, the significant risk with a knife involving a close situation like that is why the officers had to use a taser.
With that taser, sounds like it was fairly close proximity. Now that would be fairly standard, operating and training procedure for an officer when they feel threatened with a knife like that?
I'm not going to say anything is standard. Officers are trained, and if they feel that is the level of force that is required to end the incident safely and quickly for everybody involved, that is an option that they chose to use.
Do you know how many times the taser was discharged? Was it just the initial and the man was incapacitated?
It's my understanding it was only one taser discharge.
Only one time. With the injuries that the officers sustained, broken cheekbone, that sounds pretty painful and pretty serious. Is there any word yet in the investigation if those injuries to the face, did they take place from the actual hit, or did see that there was a fall involved as well? Do you know if any of those injuries were sustained during the fall or from the actual physical attack?
No, it was. We know for a fact that it was the punch to the face broke the officer's nose and cheekbone.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, that's a heck of a punch. We've heard also that the accused here may be Neville Redito Garaka. Is there any way we can confirm the middle name of this gentleman?
I can confirm it, not right this second, but absolutely I can get back to you on that.
Sure. And with the restaurant itself, I mean, I imagine there's probably some sort of security cameras which caught this on tape. Has part of a CCTV footage been part of the investigation so far?
You know what? I wouldn't be able to answer that at this point. I'm unsure if any of this was captured on CCTV, and it would be something that the officers would be following up on.